On this week's episode, I talk about managing your technical resources so that the team can have a good learning process. Welcome back to episode 12 of Weekly Q&A with Steph. I hope everyone enjoyed my discussion points around the changing generations that we have to deal with as business owners of accounting practices. So this week's question comes from Andrew Colson, and we've been chatting on LinkedIn about how we manage resources and what we're actually doing internally to help our teams learn and continue to grow. And as accountants, we obviously have an enormous amount of technical things that we not only have to learn when we're young and coming through, but also that we have to stay abreast of with all of the changes that end up happening. You know, we've just had federal budget in Australia, etc., etc. And unless you have a really, really good system and a really good process of being able to dissect these learning resources and then obviously flow that through the organisation, there are so many things that can actually get lost. So at GrowthWise, we have two different ways of dealing with what we class as our learning resources or our technical resources. And then obviously we do a lot of formalised training in the office as well. But the first thing is, as business owners, we not only have to look at technical resources and understanding the tax law, but we also have to keep up to date with what is happening in the business world and the things that are changing for our business owners as well. So for that, I use the Dig Reader RSS feeds, so DIGG. And I have a whole host of articles and a whole host of blogs that actually feed into my Dig Reader on a daily basis. I read generally at night. I know a lot of the team don't. They might read at lunchtime or in the afternoon or sometimes in the morning for the guys in here. But we all have access to this Dig Reader. Now, because I love automation and I love not having to, do too many things or press too many buttons, we actually have it set up so that anytime I press the thumbs up button in Dig, we can actually flow that straight directly into Slack using Zapier. So it's actually quite interesting. We use Slack as our internal learning tool and an internal communication tool. And if I think that there's something really beneficial for the rest of the team and really worthwhile for them to read, all I need to do is press the thumbs up button, and that's automatically going to go into our learning channel. Now that kind of takes care of the blog side of things. Email newsletters is a very similar process, but obviously it's not automated. So we still do subscribe to some e-newsletters that come in. Gary Vaynerchuk obviously is one of them for us. So every single time a great article or a great video comes in from our e-newsletters, I open it and then manually just pop that into Slack with a few notes about why this article is really, really good reading or why this resource is good reading. So therefore the non-formal technical style training resources that we get. But we obviously do have subscriptions to, for us, the Taxpayer, NTAA and Hayes Knight's Knowledge Shop. So we get a whole host of, the Taxpayer comes out monthly, so does NTAA. Knowledge Shop put out a monthly PDF newsletter briefing as well. So instead of just throwing those things into our learning channel, what we try and do is just dissect out the really, really key and crucial points. And the reason we do this is then everything is searchable. And that's the key for your training resources or your learning resources. Anytime we go to an actual event, so Alan went to the SMSF conference earlier in the year, all of the notes came back to him on PDFs from the speaker presentations, etc. And he then gives us a little synopsis per presentation of the key points, what he got out of it, etc. And then that is searchable literally forever for us. So we have this enormous resource of PDFs, an enormous resource of links to articles, etc. But we can put the words in there or the terms in there that are really important to us so that anytime we want to search, we most definitely can. So if we've done some research on employee share plans and how that relates in Australia as an example, and we've got some really key resources that we've read there, obviously all we need to do is go into our learning channel in Slack and search for ESS, Employee Share Scheme, and we'll actually have a list of all of the articles, all of the PDF documentation, etc., that have been stored in Slack from since we started using it all the way through. And those things are going to be there literally forever for us to be able to start to look at if we need to and go back to. So that's the kind of way we deal with technical resources, training resources that are either online, PDF, or courses that we go to. And then obviously our training from an internal perspective, we meet once a month to do technical style training, and it's based around what we've learnt from those publications or questions that we've had from our clients, research that we've needed to do, or anything that is actually new. So there you go. That is how we deal with our technical training and technical resources at GrowthWise. And that's a wrap on this week's episode of Steph QA. Can't believe we're already up to episode 12. So keep those questions coming. I've been having a lot of dialogue with some of you guys on LinkedIn over the last couple of weeks, which is excellent. You can ask questions on Twitter using the hashtag StephQA, or if you want to, email me or just give me a buzz. As always, don't forget to press the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any episodes. See you next week.